designed to help universities and colleges test the skills of people wanting to study in the English language. It's also used as a general test of English for immigration and employment in many countries. Candidates can choose to sit either the academic test or the general training test. The academic IELTS test is for people who want to study at a university where English is the medium of instruction. The general training test is for people who need a more general level of English for colleges, schools, employment or immigration. The IELTS test is divided into 4 sections: listening, reading, writing and speaking. All candidates sit the same listening and speaking test. However, academic and general training candidates each sit a different reading and writing test. There is no pass or fail mark in the IELTS test. Candidates are marked on a band scale of 1 to 9 in each part. These bands indicate the candidate's competency from no evidence of language to expert user. All candidates receive a test results form. This gives an overall band score as well as a score for each individual part of the test. Okay, so what can you do to make sure you get the best score possible? Here are 3 important points. Firstly, you must know the test format. What are the sections of the test? Which section comes first? How much time is allowed for each section? How many questions are there? How long must you speak for? Secondly, you should do practice tests under strict test conditions. Make sure that you follow all of the instructions closely. Finally, you should make sure you use English every day. And this is where the hard work is, especially if you don't live in an English-speaking country. But you can still practice, find English interest groups, go to English films, listen to English on the radio, join an online chat room and read English books and magazines. Many candidates enrol in an IELTS preparation course at a language school to help them prepare fully. Combined with independent study and daily practice in the English language, a preparation course will help achieve your target band score.
Thank you very much.
An IELTS preparation course will cover the 4 sections of the test. You'll learn all the different question types that might be asked in each section. To prepare for the listening section, you'll learn to recognise intonation patterns and to recognise different varieties of spoken English, and practice listening for general and specific information. You'll also study for the reading test. You'll learn to skim for a general understanding of a text and scan for specific information. You'll learn to develop vocabulary, to summarise information, and look at how to determine a writer's attitude and opinion on a topic. For the writing section, you'll learn to adjust your writing style according to purpose. Write paragraphs, introductions and conclusions. Use conjunctions and reference. Organise information logically within a text. And use examples and evidence to support an argument. And of course, you'll also practice your speaking test, looking at pronunciation, intonation and fluency. You'll learn to use and understand common phrases and to interact with other speakers. You'll learn to speak for an extended time on a particular topic and practice discussing that topic. Good IELTS preparation courses will also provide individual tuition, so you can work on your specific areas of need. And they will provide individual feedback too, so you know exactly how you're going. The listening test consists of 4 sections and takes 30 minutes. As you listen to each section, you'll be given time to read the questions, write your answers in the test booklet, and check them. At the end of Section 4, you will be given an extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the listening answer sheet. You will hear a range of English accents and dialects, including Australian, British, North American, New Zealand, Irish and others. After the listening test is the reading test. It goes for 60 minutes. It consists of 3 or sometimes 4 reading passages of increasing difficulty, and there is a total of 40 questions to answer. Though you can mark and write on the question paper, you must enter your answers on the reading answer sheet. Be aware that no extra time is given for transferring your answers from the question paper to the answer sheet. Writing is the 3rd module in the IELTS test and takes 60 minutes. There are 2 tasks to complete, each of which requires different text types and different styles of writing, including formal academic writing. The writing test is in 2 parts. There is no choice of question. In the academic test, Task 1 requires you to write a 150-word report. The general training test requires a letter. Task 2 requires you to write a discussion of at least 250 words. The speaking test is the last of the 4 tests in IELTS. It consists of an oral interview between the candidate and an IELTS-trained examiner. The interview lasts for approximately 11 to 14 minutes. There are 3 parts to the speaking test: the introduction and interview, the individual monologue, and a discussion or dialogue. To begin, there is the introduction. This lasts for 1 minute. The examiner introduces him or herself and will confirm the identity of the candidate. An interview of 3 to 4 minutes follows. The examiner asks questions which call for short answers. Then it's the individual long-turn monologue. This section goes for 3 to 4 minutes. The examiner asks the candidate to speak for 1 to 2 minutes on a topic. The candidate has 1 minute to prepare. The examiner might conclude by asking 1 or 2 short questions. Finally, there is the discussion or dialogue section. This goes for between 4 to 5 minutes. The examiner generates a discussion relating to the topic introduced in Part 2. The candidate is expected to give longer responses to these questions. So it's important that you not only practice your English, but that you prepare for all the different sections of the IELTS test. And after all of your preparation, follow these simple suggestions to help ensure the day of the test goes smoothly and you stay calm. This is the best way to get the highest score you can. Arrive early, at least a half an hour. You don't want to be late, upset or flustered. When doing the test, concentrate on the part you have in front of you. Don't worry about what you've already done or what's coming up next. Use your time well. Know how long you need to spend on each section and don't get stuck on one answer. If you finish early, go back and check your answers carefully. While you're working hard preparing for your IELTS exam, remember that it's also important to relax and do some activities that you enjoy. An occasional break from your studies will give you fresh energy and motivation. And don't forget, the night before you sit the IELTS test, go to bed early and get plenty of rest. Well, that's all for now. I hope this introduction to IELTS has been useful. Good luck with your studies.